Let's be honest, we are absolutely obsessed with the end of the world. I mean, from The Walking Dead to 28 Days Later, we just can't get enough of watching society fall apart. But what if our favorite shows are actually terrible survival guides? What if everything we think we know is actually teaching us all the wrong lessons? Well, let's find out.
And it's not just the shows. I mean, look at these numbers. We are watching millions of hours of videos about the shows, explainers, breaking down zombie lore, survival tactics, you name it. Our fascination with the apocalypse is very, very real. So, after all that binge watching, after all those videos, here's the big question. Could the very things that make for such great TV actually get you killed in a real collapse? I think it's time we explored that.
All right, first up, let's tackle myth number 1, the apocalypse fantasy. This is all about what the shows get so wrong about how things would actually go down in the beginning.
You know that iconic opening scene in 28 Days Later? It is brilliant filmmaking, no doubt, but it also sets up our first and maybe biggest myth, the idea of a silent apocalypse.
The shows always give us this lone survivor wandering through an empty, quiet city. It's dramatic, it's spooky, but it's just not realistic. The reality would be loud, it would be messy, it would be pure chaos as millions of people try to escape all at once.
Yeah, forget silence. Just try to imagine the noise. A non-stop symphony of car alarms, gunfire, explosions, and screaming. The streets wouldn't be empty, they'd be completely impassable. Just graveyards of abandoned cars and gridlock.
Okay, so let's say you somehow survive that initial chaos. Now you need supplies, right? Well, that's where the shows sell us another comforting fantasy, what I like to call the apocalypse pantry.
We've all seen it. Our heroes wander into a perfectly preserved supermarket months into the apocalypse, and the shelves are full of canned goods. The reality? Panic buying would strip those shelves bare in hours, and those stores, they would quickly become some of the most dangerous battlegrounds around.
Now this next myth. This one might just be the most dangerous of all, because it's not about the zombies and it's not about supplies. It's about that one thing we all crave in a crisis, the promise of rescue. We call this the false hope fortress, and it's so seductive because it preys on our deepest need for safety. It offers a solution that just seems too good to be true. You have to ask yourself, when one group has all the food, all the shelter, and all the guns, are you being rescued, or are you walking into a cage?
So you gotta know the warning signs, right? First, it's always a one-way broadcast. You hear them, but they can't hear you. Second, they're always telling you to go to some isolated, out-of-the-way location. And third, the promise. It's just too perfect. In a real crisis, easy solutions are almost always the most dangerous ones.
And all of this brings us to the next stage, to when the real apocalypse truly begins. This is the part where you realize the true threat has emerged.
This is when it all clicks. The zombies? They just become part of the landscape. They're a force of nature. The real conflict, the true horror story, is about navigating a world without rules, where every other survivor is just as desperate as you are.
Because when all the laws and all the social contracts just disappear, the most dangerous predator on the planet isn't some monster, it's a human being, a desperate human being with a plan. Suddenly, the people who promise to rescue you might become the real threat.
And that's when you finally get it. The whole zombie genre, it was never really about zombies. It's about us. It's an exploration of what happens when that thin, fragile layer of civilization gets peeled away.
So all of these myths, all these hard truths, they all lead us to one final, really unsettling question about what it truly means to survive. So I'll leave you with this to think about. In a world of pure chaos and desperation, where there are no more rules, how do you know who to trust? Who is a friend and who is the real monster? That's the ultimate question these stories leave us with. And really, what would you do?